lessons that I learned from my father were the customer is not always right, but he's always the customer. And the only way to get even with him is to sell him. Being in that store was an education into itself. The smokers were either people in the garment center, which is where we were located, the Hollywood types, and the mafiosi and mob bosses, and Murder Incorporated. I know one time my father, and someone came in and he motioned to me to take care of him, special treatment. And I did, and about a half hour later he motioned to me to come over and step outside. And he said, that was the trigger man from the St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
I mean, my grandfather was kind of a larger-than-life character. He was the kind of person that when he went into a restaurant, he always wanted to make sure his back was against the back wall so no one could sneak up behind him and he could see everyone and everything going on in the restaurant.
My grandfather knew 80 years ago how much, turmoil this industry would have. He would have probably rethought it, but at that point, it was, a cigar shop or a pool hall or an ice cream stand.
No one would come into the store of any importance without coming to see him. It wasn't him going to see them. And I think he really translated that into creating really the footprint for the brand.
Our business is mainly the tobacco, the manufacture of all natural cigarettes and handmade cigars. My father would not recognize the company and probably in many ways wouldn't be pleased with it. He evolved into the tobacco business in 1930, and he came out of a restaurant business or a nightclub business that he had owned in the 20s. It was a speakeasy. It was a club where you rubbed elbows with everybody. There was a lot of personality. And when he got into the retail business, that was one of the things that he really enjoyed very much, was having Frank Sinatra come in to see him, and Sammy Davis Jr. and all the many people that frequented the store. As we grew and became a distributor and a manufacturer and a wholesaler, these people didn't have to come in anymore. They could go to their local store in California, and he resented that. Didn't matter how big the business was, he wanted to have the action.
Nat Sherman has existed and continued to flourish really because I think of one thing, and it's really the integrity of the brand.
We're quintessential New York. We're natural and purity. We're upscale. We're comfortable.
It's something that people choose to do, and if they choose to do it, it should be in moderation. We really have always been very, very serious about our message to our consumers about that.
As the consumer goes to that better, if I can only smoke 4 cigarettes a day, I might as well smoke the best. That puts us in a very strong position. We'll never grow to the size of a Philip Morris or an R.J. Reynolds, but there's enough market share out there that wants that better quality that seems to find their way to our door, and so we manage to make a living.